Welcome in to Philly Voice Bets, Devan Kaney, Eitan Shander, and Harry Mays. This is, of course, sponsored by Rita's Water Ice.
Rita's is bringing back pumpkin perfection with our pumpkin milkshake and Reese's Take 5 Pumpkin Concrete. And new app users can get a free ice when they download and use offer code PUMPKIN. Trademarks are used under license. Offer expires October 16th.
Be cool, Rita's.
Water ice. I feel like I need to drop a water in there, guys. Rita's water ice, pumpkin flavored water ice. We have a really exciting weekend coming up. Thursday night football. I don't know if you guys had any bets on that game though, before we look ahead to Saturday and Sunday with college football, and Monday, I should say, Eagles Monday Night Football. Did either of you place any bets? I did not do well last night.
No, I was trying to bring it up here as well because I had the spreadsheet was cooking last night. So I think I went 2-2 overall. I did wind up like $41 or so at the end of it. I had that Chargers. It was a free bet. So it was 100. It was a full unit free bet. Chargers plus 3.5. You talk about, really sweating that one out. So that helped. Went over 4.5 receptions for Austin Eckler. So those are the two that hit. What I got bit on was Eckler rushing. It was rushing attempts, 12.5. I went under that because I thought it just wouldn't be rushing that much. And then look, I know this is one too, Devan, that you brought up yesterday. The Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if you played that as well. The Mahomes over 2.5 passing touchdowns. I played that at plus money, and I stand by that. You give me that bet at plus money, I'm betting that every single week. So I lost that one.
No, me too. I did that one, and I did the Eckler 4.5. And yeah, I lost money last night. It just did not play out the way that I wanted it to. But there's always this weekend. There's always Sunday and Monday night. Harry, did you have anything last night?
Well, yeah, I was all over the Chargers at 4.5. I couldn't resist that, and they ended up backdooring that thing. Boy, I tell you, the referees love helping Patrick Mahomes out. Man, that called back interception with the penalty was kind of a joke, and also the one with Asante Samuel Jr. I mean, that to me looked like a pick. But whatever. Chargers ended up coming. Sure. What's that?
It was a pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but they got a lot of breaks there. The pick six was an unbelievable play, and I tell you, I thought Herbstreit did an amazing job last night in his first NFL game, at least that I have seen him do. I thought he was brilliant all over. He was just really good. He was kind of like Romo in a way, where he was sort of a half a step ahead and saw things coming. He saw that tight end for San Diego, dragging after he had completed 2 receptions in a row. He won it off the field. They didn't take him off the field because they were in the hurry up, and he ended up throwing the pick because the guy just didn't make the right move. He was kind of out of it. All of a sudden, boom, there's a touchdown for KC. That was a pretty cool moment in the game. But I shied away from the over when I saw the Keenan Allen wasn't going to play, and also Butker, the kicker for KC, was out. So I shied away from that over, and I'm glad I did.
Speaking of overs, sorry, Eitan.
No, go ahead.
I don't know if we want to jump into Eagles Monday Night Football.
Yeah, let's do it.
Quite yet, but that was my best bet. Just as you mentioned overs here, I figured might as well just dive in. That for me right now is at 50.5 points. I think that Eagles Vikings is going to be points galore. With the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, I'm high key, very worried about the Eagles defense being able to stop him. But then also Jalen Hurts was dealing last week. So I think the Eagles are also going to rack up a lot of points. I think that over hits. Aside from that, I'm struggling with this game, you guys. There's nothing that's really standing out to me. I know I mentioned, I think AJ Brown gets a touchdown because he didn't in week 1, and we know he's hungry for a TD. But I don't know if I feel too confident playing that. What about you? What are your thoughts?
All right, so let me ask you both real quick. It's just, you can take it yes or no. You can give me a sentence, whatever you want. It's your world, both of you. But do you think the Eagles win? Do you think the Eagles win the football game? I know we've only been doing this a month or so, and I know what that smile means. But do you think they win?
No,
and that's why I'm struggling, because I want my heart wants them to win, but my head knows that the Vikings are the best bet here.
So there's a lot working against Minnesota in this game from like a stat and trend and everything standpoint. I do think that anything under 3, that they're highly teasable. I'm with you. I don't mind taking the Eagles to win, but I think that's not enough. So my suggestion would be, and I'm wavering on this. I'm going back and forth. So I haven't played this yet. But if you like the Eagles to win, I think you should look at combining an anytime TD score with an Eagles money line parlay and really get a significantly better return, if you will, on your value. So Devin, Harry, Devin, I'd look at either Hurts, Eagles win at plus 270, or Sanders, because I don't think that's a one-time thing. I realize, we all see what Miles Sanders can be on the ground. Getting in the end zone shouldn't be a mirage or oasis. That's at plus 290. So those would be the two, if you like the Eagles, I'm looking at. That's really all I have right now. I think Monday I'll probably have 2 that I'll lock in, but Eagles are 7-2 straight up against the spread versus NFC North teams coming off a straight up against the spread win. Minnesota's 3-9 ATS over their last 12 Monday Night Football games. It's also a road game for Minnesota that's like sandwiched between 3 home division games. So this is we all focus on Justin Jefferson, all this other shit. This is an easy look ahead, I think, for Minnesota.
Yeah, but also keep in mind Kirk Cousins' all-time record Monday night primetime games. He is not great, 2-9. That being said, I mentioned this on our last episode. The Eagles haven't won a Week 2 football game. This stat is just so mind-blowing to me. Since 2016. But you know what? You know what gives me hope? Because I tweeted this and people got really mad at me for it. They're like, oh, bad luck, bad juju. I'm like, look, it's a factual stat. They haven't won in Week 2 since 2016. Right. When they played the Bears on a Monday night. So maybe Monday nights in Week 2 are different for the Eagles. Maybe that gives us some hope.
Harry, I'm on Minnesota. Yeah, that's it. I'll look ahead on this on Monday for player props, but I'm already on Minnesota plus the 2.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't even think you can find them right now as we do this on an early Friday AM, because I was trying to get them for tonight with me and Breland, and I can't find anything across the board. So we'll have to wait.
There's 2 Monday night games.
By the way. Okay, Harry, I know you have some college football that you probably want to get to.
Well, the only one I gave out on Wednesday was the Miami Hurricanes plus the 5 and the money line at plus 180 against Texas A&M. It's a light slate in college. Not a lot jumped out at me. Maybe I'll jump on Auburn as a home dog against Penn State just for the fun of it. They're getting 3 at home. But my 2 this week are in the NFL. I'm looking at this Jaguars and the Colts. The Jaguars host the Indianapolis Colts. It was plus 4 for Jacksonville. Now it's down to 3.5. I got in at 4. Wow. And the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville, folks, since 2014. Nope. Do you realize this? The Jags are 6-0 in their last 6 games hosting the Indianapolis Colts. The Jags ran all over Washington last week. They had 6.8 yards per crack on the ground. Dougie P needs to stick to more of that against Indianapolis, and I think they could actually win the game outright, but I'm taking them with the 4. The other one is this New England game that I've been talking about all week. New England, it's now at -2. New England was a 1.5 point favorite. It's now up to 2, and you're thinking, how is this possible? Well, I believe Las Vegas is not buying into Pittsburgh as a sustainable offensive football team. They got 5 turnovers last week against Cincinnati, including 4 interceptions of Joe Burrow, and had to eke out that game. Thank God to a blocked extra point and a missed field goal by Cincinnati in overtime. They were outgained 432 yards to 267 by Cincinnati in that game and came away with the win. There's no TJ Watt. I know Tomlin is great as a home underdog. He's 14-3-2 against the number as a home dog. But this is an anemic offense. New England's anemic too. But this line is telling me something that all the marbles are going to look at this game and say, "Oh wow, Pittsburgh's getting points at home. I'm jumping all over it." I'm taking New England. I laid the 1.5. And the other one was a teaser. I wanted to run this by Eitan because he loves these teasers, and he's got me interested in these. a 6-point teaser, Eitan. We take Cincinnati down to 1 as a 1-point favorite at Dallas without Dak Prescott. And you take the Saints from 2.5 up to 8.5 against the Tampa Bay Bucks. What do you think about that one?
What's that going to be, like minus 130?
I haven't looked at the number yet, but I just wrote it down. I was just looking at the
those are
point
pretty
spread.
Yeah, those are pretty set on that return. I like it. Obviously the concern is always going to be teasing a favorite down, but if you apply the Wong teaser method, right, where you're going through the 3 key numbers, that should always help you. So what you've done there, you've gone through 7, 6, and 3 on both of those teasers.
Right.
On the Bengals,
I like
you
this
did?
Wong thing. Yeah, it was.
Well, that's it.
7 points down to 1.
Exactly. So ideally, what you're doing is you're taking favorites down from 7.5 or 8. Ideally through 7, 6, and 3. You could add 4 in there now as well, and at the same time, you're doing that with favorites. So that's basically how I'm building teasers. And the idea is that you're just playing probability more so than anything else. But yeah, man, I like it. I mean, I think you could add. There's probably 2 other teams you could add in there if you really wanted to live dangerously.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle would be one. I'm all over Seattle in a teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you probably don't even need it. No, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
You get my, for whatever it's worth, you get my thumbs up.
That's all I need today. That made my Friday, getting your thumbs up.
Yeah, as long as if the spreadsheet man, approves, then it's good.
A lot of dogs out there.
A lot of dogs. They're right behind you. All those dogs.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
So is that the theme of this week 2 for you? The dogs, the underdogs?
I think so. I think so. I think, honestly, there are a couple of teams. And last week it was Seattle. And then, we touched on Pittsburgh and Atlanta just covering the spread there. So, and I can't, Matt, if you can bring it up, that would be beautiful here. So this is where I'm at. Now, look, I'm up 16 because I had to hit on Caesars. They gave me this risk-free bet, not in increments. They gave it back in 1,000. So I had to play a 10-unit bet on Joe Mixon going over his reception total, which was not fun. And you could see it. It's here. Mixon over 2.5 reception. Now he had 7. But that's why, hence, I was there. So pretty good start so far overall. And I want to attack definitely Jacksonville. The other one, too, that we just added to the slate was looking at Seattle and definitely in a Seattle-like first half. And then the Titans. I love the Titans so much that I pushed them to plus 9.5 to get a little bit better of a return as opposed to minus 110. But yeah, that's kind of the focus. College for Harry's sake here. Love Louisville tonight as a home dog. Bowling Green, you got to hear this stat. I mean, this is insane right now for where Bowling Green is. I have to pull this up specifically, but going up against Marshall and looking at this spread, the ATS win-loss record for any team who upset Notre Dame in its last game, beating the spread by 17 or more points in the win, is 12-1-2. So you play against Marshall, right? Okay. That's another one here. And I love UTSA. That's my upset special of the week. I'm going to take them quarter unit to win outright, and UTSA plus 11.5. This is insane when you look at what Jeff Traylor has done, taking out COVID. 17-9 ATS run, 4-1 straight up, 5-0 ATS away versus non-conference. I mean, what they've been able to do with their offense. So I love them.
I'm glad you're finally come around on UTSA, the Roadrunners. See that?
Well, they bit me in the ass.
That Houston
like
game.
Ago.
That's Houston game. Got you.
Well, it was double over, like triple overtime. So once it went to the 2-point conversions, I was screwed.
Knew you were cooked.
SOL. By the way, the best bet on the board, I'll leave you with this thought here. We'll bounce around. But the best bet on the board is the under. It's still at 41.5, which I think is playable. But the under in the San Fran game, the San Fran-Seattle game. All right, check this out. Since Levi Stadium opened in 2014, there have been 9 home games, right? There have been a couple of night games. Night doesn't matter. It's all about the heat. Anybody's been in San Fran in that time of the year right now understands, especially as the planet gets hotter in different points. Right, it's hot. 9 home games played in the first 4 weeks of the season. The under is 8-1 because it's hot. All right? Under 41.5. I got in 43.5. I still think it's fine at 41.
Sounded like the camera there. It's hot.
Well, that's now I was doing my Joey D. Yeah. We miss Joey.
I love Joey. First of all, I didn't know that San Francisco even got that hot, so that's news to me.
Me neither until I saw that.
It's like a chilly, like 65 degrees. I didn't know that was ever a thing. Okay, I don't know if we talked about Buccaneers at Saints because that's what I'm liking. I like Saints money line plus 124 because if there's one team that has Tom Brady's number, it is the New Orleans Saints. He has played them 4 times in the regular season in the past 2 years and has always lost, never won. So if you're ever going to bet against Tom Brady, it's this game. Those are the dogs I'm liking this week. Otherwise, there are a lot of games that are head scratchers. I feel like week 2 is a tough spot to be in because we have like overreactions and we're like jumping to conclusions on who the strongest teams are. And then week 2 changes everything and we go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm anxious to see how that plays out, just to see how wrong we might have been after week 1.
I know. I had a good week 1 betting wise, so it's due to all come crashing down on me in week 2. So we'll see.
Well,
all right, guys.
I think a lot of it's just regression. That's all.
Before we wrap this episode up, any final bets, final thoughts, Eitan? Any weird offshore bets that you want to discuss here?
Nothing offshore. I do like what you gave out with the Saints too, and again, I think that it's just dogs covering. I think we can target some stuff too. I'll leave you with this parlay. By the way, Carolina stat of the day could also go to Carolina. The Giants in their last 50 games, the Giants have only beaten 4 teams by 7 or more points. All right, by 7+ points. So if you wanted to tease Carolina up 7.5, you've got a 45 and 50 chance that it's going to happen. I'll leave you with this though. I think we can target the Cleveland, and honestly, I think you can target the Cleveland game for a couple of player props. I same game parlayed Baker over 216.5. Carolina, pardon me, not Cleveland. Carolina, Baker over 216.5, Jones over 212.5. Same game parlay for both over their passing yardage. So that would be mine.
Right.
Wow, would you go over in the total then with all that passing?
No, because those numbers are so low, and I don't necessarily think they correlate. And at plus 250 for both of those guys to scrape 220 yards, I think that was the attack there. But yeah.
Love it. All right, guys, we will talk Monday before some Monday Night Football.
2 Monday night games on Monday.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. Yes. All right. Have a good weekend and may all your bets hit.